Good morning, teachers and friends and viewers. Today I'm going to tell you about how I started a journey on making biofuel. Of course, I could say ethanol or even simpler alcohol, but I would just say biofuel because that's the reason I started this project. First of all, let me just show you my start. These environments are a bit dirty, of course, because it was right after lunch. The time is right after lunch, so yeah, don't mind that. So as you can see, I just stopped it because this does not give enough heat. Since I'm lucky to be in such an area where I could light up bonfires, I will light a bonfire and do this. You will be asking, why is there water? Wait, how will the water help? Wouldn't it cool it down? Well, no. Let me just tell you about one such experiment. Let me just get a cup and fill it with water here. I'm doing it with one hand, so I had to do this. Now let's just say this cup is boiling. Over here, let's say I just kept this cap and this cap was full of water. Now, if this water is boiling, let me ask you a question. Will the water inside this cap boil? I'll tell the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, the answer is it won't, because this water, it would still need a bit more than 100 degrees Celsius to heat up. You'd be saying, oh, this will provide that much heat, right? Well, sadly, no. Because as soon as it reaches 100 degrees Celsius, this water is going to vaporize out and go wee. Then, by that time, he will not be hot enough to vaporize. So mostly the condense would just make it sink down later on. So let's just get done with this. This cap is good. So when I saw this biofuel, I always wanted to make a gun. Like, you know, all those pressure cookers. Yeah, I was using their thing. So like, what's the principle of a pressure cooker? Well, it takes in the pressure that is made when the thing ignites. Like, it's also same with cars. The compartments would ignite, then it would cause a lot of pressure to be built. When the pressure is built, it will have no place. But to move up the piston, which when the piston is high enough, it will also go through some holes to end the exhaust. But that's not useful. So that is the main principle. I wanted to make a same, but for this time, the exhaust and the piston is a simple bullet. So first of all, I thought I had to make biofuel. Of course, I could have used the ethanol out of sanitizer, but come on. I like making things, so this is not the best thing I could do. So I thought of getting some yeast and making it my own. Here's the yeast down. Well, I had colored this water a bit, but this yeast is from previous many generations, so it looks like this. So this is my ferment. I did struggle a bit in finding the yeast since I'm in such an area. So after I found the yeast, I decided I would also need an airlock, because I did not know any other way where I could prevent the oxygen from getting in but the carbon dioxide from going out. So I had made many versions of airlocks myself. Like, I just attached like a foam piece, and on the foam piece I made a hole, then I attached a straw. So, and then in that straw I kept some water. What happened there mainly was, the carbon dioxide will come out, and since the hole is so thin, the water will not be permitted to go inside because of the intermolecular attraction of water. It will just stay up. It will not go down, the hole being too small. So I tried that airlock system, and sadly it failed. Nice. So that did not work. I was sad. Then by that time I had also made a batch. I was panicking, pure panic. I was like, oh no, what to do? Will this go to waste? Oh no. And then I got an idea. Really, this is the simplest idea. Squishing the bottle up. Yeah. I just squish the bottle up. The carbon dioxide generated would just repuff the bottle, then I would just squish it back. It was simple. I got that idea, and it is really cheap. You know, I mean, just look at this. A bottle, some yeast and sugar. Yeah, it's very cheap. Yeah. So then I go with the ferment. after I was done with fermentation, I thought maybe I don't know any ways to separate this ethanol and water. And I was like, it's okay, the concentration of ethanol would be so much, I would not need to take out the water. I was wrong. I was sadly wrong, because you see, later on when I started the batch, I learned that the concentration was only going to be 10% of the whole volume. I was not affected by the 10%. I was just, that was not good enough for combustion. Later on, when my batch was made after 14 days, I thought, by the time I was done, I learned some things like the amount of yeast and sugar. It's not really with the how much perfectly the amount would be done, although it's a bit related, but the main thing is the more yeast and normal sugar, then like let's say the yeast level is A and the sugar level is A. So if you keep them both for me, then I would get 14 days. But if let's say the yeast level, I make it even more, like A plus 1, like multiply it by 2, like make it double, then the fermentation would be done in double time. And if I increase the sugar instead of the yeast, I would get a bit more concentration of ethanol, along with it would take a long time. So anyways, I was done with this ferment, and then I thought, oh no, how would I separate it? So then I thought, then one day I was just brainstorming, and then I was thought, oh wait, for distillation I need to add the heat. I don't have a distillation kit. So in distillation I had to add the kit. Now what if I don't add the kit at all? What if I don't add the heat? Instead, if I take the heat, meaning if I freeze it, that was a nice idea, I could say. So the thing of that was, I thought that maybe I could freeze it, because I knew ethanol had a bit too low for freezing point. Like the water would freeze and the ethanol would still be there. I was kind of correct though. But then when the batch was done, I was relying only on that point, and sadly it did never freeze. I was panicking a bit, and then I was like, oh no, what to do? Then there was another method where you could use salt to separate it. Now over there, the freaking yeast, this little region of pure death here, like pure mental agony, it reacted with the salt. It never let the salt do anything. Like it never let the salt change it, sadly. And so I tried many ways and it failed. Then I was like, okay, now I need to make a distillation model, or else nothing will work fine. So I did. At first, my main idea was that I would just join these two together. I would put it on top of a bonfire, and then this, instead of being this small little plastic bottle, I would attach it here. I would keep the water in it. But as you can see, the source of heat was too concentrated and it gassed up. I mean, you could see the dust and those crystals of salt that have formed there. It was a bit of a disaster, but then I got enough to produce a vial. I was feeling skeptical about the vial, that it might contain water because the boiling was so high, but no, it was alright, it was all okay, because when I burnt it, it burnt real good, like how sanitizer does. So that put a dry force upon me, and I'm here with a bottle, I think, of 741 ml of just ferment juice. I made this. Here's a simple bottle of sanitizer. Here I put my ferment liquid. I heated the water, so the water equally heated on all sides, not concentrating the flame. Then the vapors would go slowly from here till here. Now this is my own version of the Liebig condenser. So after it would condense, I don't think it would be much pressure enough to drive this whole thing up till here, but by the time it's done, the ethanol would be over, by the way, so at least I'll have a bit of a thing there. So from this, even if I get like a vial or just 100 ml, which I am estimating I will get, that's enough for me. Pure ethanol, it works like a charm. For me, it's not pure here because of the distillation and all the kits I don't even have a thermometer to check the thing, like the temperature. But still, Of course, when God has given us brains, why not use it? And I did to make this thing. I don't know what to call it. A DIY distillation kit? Yeah, it is. And then here, but then the problem that happened is the flame was so concentrated on below that it kind of melted the thing here. So it's like this. Now I know what to do. I could take a metal cap and just keep it under and it would be solved. Voila. So now after it would be done, I'll just show you the wire. And I might as well just show you the airlock. I recycled the airlocks and made them into different things. So yeah. I'll just show you the wire foil and how it burns.